Yes, so welcome everyone to another stream, and I have another amazing guest in the studio. So say hi to each other.
Hello, everybody.
So I think everyone who has been watching the sessions before, you all know how it goes. I start with the questions, then we have the 5 questions of shame, and after the 5 questions of shame, then it's your turn to ask some questions. So let's just go to the first one. He is an open book, he said, so we will see how open he will be today.
Yep.
So for the first question, when was your first hack ever? When did you first hacked something?
Oh, my first hack effort was back in 1992. 91 actually. I had the Super Nintendo, right? And of course the Super Famicom. And I wanted to play Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z only worked on the Super Famicom, right?
Yeah.
So in order to get it to work on the Super Nintendo, I had to open up the slot where the cartridge is, and it had two holders in place, two little, I think they were like plastic holders or whatnot. But I went and got like a little needle nose pliers and pulled those slots out, and I was able to play the Dragon Ball Z game. That's the hack to be able to play Japanese games on Super Nintendo.
Well,
that was my first official hack.
Well, that's really an amazing hack. I think it's very deep into the tech. Did you learn something about it when you did it, or
what's that?
Did you learn something?
Did I learn something about it?
Yeah, in the process.
Yeah. Honestly, I learned that, one, never to give up. If you really want something bad enough, you'll figure out a way to get things done, right? 2, I learned how to get good at researching. Like, of course, at that time there was no internet, so it was just more so like asking questions, looking at because I had both the Famicom and I had both the Super Famicom and the Super Nintendo, right? Yeah. But I had to look at what was different where I couldn't play that particular cartridge. So I had to kind of research and figure out how to do that. So those are the 2 things that I learned. Research and never give up.
I think those are really nice things to bring with your during your where you are now. I think it helped you building up.
Yes.
For my second question. You were saying that you were hacking in your free time as a little kid. Did you also go to college, or did you learn everything by just watching? There was no internet, you said. So, reading books, for example, or.
Yeah. So I went to college. I took computer information systems as my major, but that did not teach me computers. A lot of my stuff was like self-taught. It's more so just actually, for example, building a computer. I actually bought the parts with myself. I was working at a pizza cut job, so I actually bought all the parts myself and actually put together the computer. Of course, Googling around, looking at how to put everything together, reading an old A+ book that I found at a garage sale, and I put together my first computer, but fried the motherboard. So that's how I learned about electrostatic, how dangerous we are to motherboards than motherboards are more dangerous to us, right? But a lot of things that I did was just hands-on. College gave the foundation. Okay, you have to study these particular courses, but I always took it a step further outside of class and just hey, anything I was interested in, I pretty much just Googled, read books, and then practiced. That's it. And my original college laptop and desktop. My college desktop was a Dell Pentium 2 with 64 megs of RAM, 10 gig hard drive, and my laptop was a Sony Vaio, 10 gigs, 128 megs of RAM.
Well, I think you're totally right about the college that lays the foundation, and after you have the foundation, you can go whichever way you want to go. So yeah.
Right.
And the people, they are loving your retro shirt that you are wearing.
Yeah, Super Macho Man from Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I just felt like Super Macho Man. I couldn't wait till Monday.
Please don't punch me. Yes, for my next question. Yeah, you were saying that you went to college. Did you also accidentally or on purpose hacked something in your college time, or perhaps one of your classmates you accidentally hacked him?
No, I didn't do the traditional hacking to try to change my grades and everything else. I actually looked at it from a different perspective, pretty much more so just learning how things work. You know, like taking things apart and different things from that standpoint, but never hacking somebody else's system. I was too nervous of the consequences.
Yeah, perhaps.
And it's not like now, like we have hack the box and everything else. So you really had to be careful back then.
Yeah, you need to be careful by hacking your friends, or they will hack you back.
Yeah, or come after me in other ways. I didn't like that. Besides, I didn't have Super Macho Man to protect me.
I just wanted to say, indeed, they are sending Macho Man after you, so yeah, you need to be careful with that.
Yes.
Yeah, for my next question, yeah, since when did you knew, yes, I want to go this way, I want to join the InfoSec field, because this is the field I like, I enjoy, yeah.
Okay, well, for me personally, before it was ever any name, any label, or anything else, I just loved computers. And I still love computers to this day. I'm still passionate about it. So I was just more into computers. And it just actually turned into security and everything else that they name it today, like InfoSec and cybersecurity and everything else. But before it was labeled anything, this has always been my passion. This has always been my dream. I'm technically living my dream and enjoying each day that I get to work in the field.
I think that's amazing, and yeah, I think you're still doing it. You're still a hacker, so yeah, I think nothing has changed about that. 20 years, whoa. Well, for my next question, as you say that you were already a hacker for 20 years long, do you remember your very first certification that you have obtained, like OCP or something else?
My first certification period, or my first security certification? Aha! Question. Ha!
Yeah, I mean security.
My very first security certification was actually the OSWP, which was Offense Security Wireless.
Ah, I know that one. Yeah.
Because I was into wireless antennas. I was into just hacking on wireless and Bluetooth, and I did a lot of research in that area and whatnot. And then a buddy of mine was like, and that's how I learned about offensive security. It was like, hey, you should check out the certification on OSWP. I said, what is it about? I said, offensive security is a 100% hands-on penetration test, a wireless penetration test, and you actually get a certificate at the end. I said, okay, cool. So I wound up just playing around with different like routers and different like Zigbees and like Bluetooth. I was buying up all types of antennas and everything. And then I went through the actual course itself, which was a bunch of videos and a PDF. And then I wound up taking the exam and I got the OSWP. But it was just more so, it was more about the journey rather than the certification. The certification was just the icing on the cake. So that was my first security certification. Now my first certification in general was the A+.
The A.
Yeah. A+, yes.
Yeah, I need to think about that one.
This goes back to 2001. It was in 20 years.
I don't know that one. But yeah, then you heard about the latest news from Offensive Security that they are going to update the Wi-Fi penetration testing course.
Yes.
You are going to.
Great.
You're going to go for it, to do it, or?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm still gonna go through the journey, definitely. The journey never stops. Never stop learning. So yeah, definitely gonna go for that.
That's the spirit indeed. We always need to learn, and
Yeah.
there's so much information that we can't know everything in our life. So
No.
we need we need to keep learning.
It's impossible. Exactly, it's impossible. And plus, don't forget to have fun with this stuff. The journey's great, but if you're not having fun, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
This is my philosophy.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't have the frustrations, if something is not working, then you should stop.
Yeah.
you need to feel the frustrations. And, no, it's not going to work. No, 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 no. No. I'm just kidding.
Oh my
But,
Yeah, but I mean that's part of the fun of it. That's part of like learning. Like, yeah, you're gonna get frustrated. Things are not gonna always work, but as you keep going, you finally make it over that hilltop. You're like, oh my gosh, I went through all of this, and look where I'm at now.
yeah, exactly.
That's the reward.
Yeah, exactly. It's the journey and not the certification. That counts.
Exactly.
And what is the latest certification that you achieved? So not the first one, but the last one.
The last one, of course, was the OSCP. I'm currently working on the OSCE, which I'm scheduled to take that exam in September 17th. Boom!
So that's that's close.
Yeah.
You are ready?
I'm ready.
You are ready?
I'm ready. Yep.
Were there any days that you think, oh man, my head is going crazy. Oh man,
No. Honestly, 'cause, I mean, I've been down this road before. You know, it's just it's a new challenge. It's fun, and in the back of my head, the Rocky song is playing. "Eye of the Tiger," so I'm super amped.
Super Punchman, yeah.
What? That's right.
So for my next question, we are going to dive a little deeper in your in your 20 years of experience in hacking.
Okay.
What is the most exciting hack that you ever did at a customer? You don't need to call names but what the hack? What was really an amazing hack that you think, well, it was really nice. I'm proud of my own.
Shout out to R Snake. After reading his white paper on DNS rebinding, I was able to bypass an awesome firewall, web application firewall, to be able to gain access to some pretty interesting systems on the inside, which I later found were very vulnerable to the Java exploit, which gave me access to the system. That was my most amazing hack, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Because the reason it made it so amazing, because it was forgotten knowledge. Because the DNS rebind attack white paper that was from 2009, and this was around like 2017, and the mere fact that particular knowledge, I call it the forgotten knowledge, helped me on an engagement by going back and reading the white paper and getting an understanding of it and actually be able to perform the hack that I was looking to accomplish was nothing short of amazing. That's why I say shout out to R Snake, because this white paper got me.
I think it's an amazing hack, and I think you can really be proud of it if you think back about it.
Yes. And that's what it takes you back to 1992, where it says research and never give up. And I could have been like, oh, I can't get into it, but I said, you know what, research, never give up.
Yeah, exactly. That's the spirit. Always keep going and never give up. And do you have any kind of special way of targeting a target? So, for example, you get a pen test, you get started. What are you doing first? Is it always different or always the same? Or
Well, it depends. It depends on the type of test. So, if it's a pen test, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to hit the web. If I already got my, if I got my DNS name, URLs, and everything else, let's say it's a web app test, right, or an external test. first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hit the web. I'm gonna do some OSINT. I'm gonna do some background investigation just to see what's actually out there on the web that I can use to my advantage to gain access to the system. Are there vulnerable systems? Are there vulnerable versions? I'm just gonna say for Tomcat, for example. Is it, if it's running a specific version of Tomcat, is it vulnerable? You know, these are things that I'm gonna look at on the net that's out there. See what's up on GitHub. See what's up on Pastebin. Look at what Shodan provides. These are things that I'm gonna look at if I'm, you know, presented with a pen test first. Always do like just passive recon, looking at what's actually public information that's already out there to help me be able to gain a good foothold on what I'm working on.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing your kind of approach. Yeah. And what is your favorite kind of pen test? Like for example, cloud pen test or Active Directory or web app, as you said, or Beefy. What's your favorite?
My favorite is web apps. I love web apps. I love web apps. I love API testing as well too, because I look at API as a third eye to web apps. That's how I look at web apps, because you gotta think about it. Web application is okay. So web applications are like houses, right? Look at a web app as like a house, right? And the API are just like back doors. They're just like doors into your web app, because it gives you all the functionality. It's just that you're doing it from a programmer's perspective, right? So say if you want to get a list of usernames, yeah, you can authenticate through the application and click submit, click the get user button or whatever, and it gives you a list of users right through the web interface. But you can also do this through an API where it dumps into a particular file and you can parse that file to get the same data. So it's like you're going for the same data, it's just that you're going through different doors. It's just that API doors, a lot of them are left either open or halfway configured, and it allows attackers to be able to get in through the back door. Third eye.
I think I agree with you. I'm not that experienced like you with API yet, but yeah, it's something I want to dive in. I think do you have any tips for the people who are watching, who want to focus on API testing perhaps? How do you approach it?
First and foremost, I would understand how to attack web apps. You know, because it kind of bleeds into it. Like a lot of the attacks that you do on web applications, you're actually going to do on like APIs. You're going to look for SQL injection APIs. You're going to look for open redirects. These are things that you're going to look for as far as like web app application testing as well too. So I would definitely get a grasp on that, and then just start seeing if you can play with some of the APIs. I think there's an API. There's like an API directory or whatnot. Like if you Google it, just say like a list of public APIs that's out there. See what APIs you can actually play with, and see if you can find like there's APIs probably in like a bug bounty program, and also check VulnHub, because VulnHub might have like a particular system that they have up that has APIs that you can play with as well too. That would be my advice if you want to learn about API testing.
Well, thank you for sharing your advice, and I think it's really great advice. And as you said, with the availability of VulnHub and all those kind of learning platforms nowadays, you can learn so fast. And those platforms, for example, Portswicker Academy, their web app academy, it is really nice and amazing to start with web app hacking. And I think it's really resourceful for people who just started. But thank you for sharing. For my next question, you love web application testing. So for my next question, you probably already know what I'm going to ask. What is your favorite kind of web application attacks? Deserialization or SQL injection or cross-site scripting or?
So it's a combination. I like the sport of cross-site scripting because you can do some very interesting things with the same characters, but you can do different things. So, for example, you can probably you can do some cross-site scripting in an Angular framework, which is totally different from your traditional JavaScript. right?
Yeah.
And you're using like different characters, but you can use a lot of the other characters that you would normally use. But like, say you can double encode it, or even triple, depends. You can do like hex encoding. You can do type of like URL encoding, and you can do like different things to try to see if you can actually bypass. I love the sport of being able to see if I can inject my code into the smallest crevice of the web application. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. The third eye.
You know it.
No, but yeah, thank you for asking the question, and yeah, it's nice indeed, cross scripting. My favorite is probably deserialization. I think just the way how it works. Yeah, it fascinates me. How it works, and I don't know, just yeah. But anyway, yeah. If we go back in time, you finished your college. You did some certifications. We talked about your favorite hacks, but what was your first job as a penetration tester? If you are allowed to, tell us about it.
My first job as a penetration tester, like I won't name the company, but
no, of course.
My first job as a penetration tester, I did wireless penetration testing. That's what I first started out with, just doing just particularly just wireless with pen testing and a little bit of net pen. But my main job was doing wireless for specific, and this was just like for like small businesses or whatnot, making sure that their wireless access points were secure and their wireless networks were secure, and make sure that it wasn't bleeding over. They wanted me to see if I can actually gain access to their internal network from their wireless guest network. So a lot of times I was pretty much put on the guest network to see how far I can get to, what I can get into from the guest network. So that was my first job.
That sounds fun. And did you also learn a lot from the company, or did they give you the chance to learn more and dive deeper?
Yeah, they always gave me they gave me a chance to learn more, and then even afterward, I took it upon myself to even go deeper and learn more on my own as well too. Here's one thing, and this is advice I give anybody: never rely on the company to actually, never rely or wait for the company to train you. You be your own personal trainer. Whenever you want to learn something, just go out there and just go learn it. Don't wait for a particular job or whatnot to give it to you. Go ahead and go get it. That would be my advice. And that's what's helped me along the way.
Yeah, I think that's the best advice you can give to people. Companies doesn't always supply you with learning and evolving, so you always need to keep motivated your own and keep learning on your own.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. For my next question, did there anything happen during your journey from start to where you are now that you think, perhaps I could have done that better, or
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, and that's all part of growth. I mean, along the journey, could I have handled different situations better? Of course. Could I have like practiced and done a little bit better on certain engagements? Of course. Better report writing. This is why we call it a journey, because there's always, if you look back, there's always something like looking back on the knowledge that you have now and looking back to when you first started. Oh yeah, there's always going to be room for improvement. You always want to continue bettering yourself. So yeah, there's always stuff that I've worked on that I needed to work on, and I could have done better at that time.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've gotten better with it over time.
Well,
still learning, and still growing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm always wondering, are you a hacker that also does a lot of programming, or do you not do much programming?
I've done a lot of scripting. I've moved more into programming though. I call this the summer of Rust. So I've pretty much made myself learn Rust. Like I'm infatuated with Rust. It's like my new toy at Christmas. I've spent at least 3 hours a day learning to code in Rust.
Whoa, that's much.
And I've
3 hours.
doing that the entire summer.
Whoa, that's
What's that?
that's very much 3 hours a day. If you also work.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah. So 3 hours after I finish work, I work on Rust.
I think it's great that you are doing it. I also want to do more programming, but I don't have much time at the moment. But perhaps I need to do the same as you do in the summer, 3 hours a day. But why did you choose for Rest? Because I hear from many people in my environment that that they prefer Go above Rest. So why did you go for Rest?
Well, it was something. The reason I chose Rust. Okay, so like when you're pen testing Active Directory, right? Especially when you're doing like red teaming engagements. So what started that journey is like, okay, with red teaming engagements, a lot of blue teams, like defensive teams, were catching, and of course, AV and EDR solutions were catching like a lot of the PowerShell commands that you're actually using, right? And blocking them, right? So a lot of the programmers were turning to, a lot of attackers were turning to C# to rewrite their tools to be able to, bypass like EDR and AV, Defender, it was Defender, right? To be able to carry out their stuff on red teaming. But another friend of mine, he's like, I'm going to try Golang. I said, you know what? I'm going to check out Rust. And then I read that Microsoft was actually adopting Rust. So I was like, let me play around with Rust and, see if I like it or not or whatnot. Because it could be something I can use on red team engagements. And sure enough, I just fell in love with the language. I fell in love with how, one, it was easy to just compile, and you could compile your code, and you could do incremental compilation. So for example, say if I compile some code, right? And then I just make some changes or whatnot, just like minor change or add a new library. It only recompiles what was changed. Everything else just is like left as it was. It only looks for the thing that changed, and that's what it just recompiles. It doesn't recompile the entire code, which I thought was interesting with Rust. Another cool thing about Rust, I love all the crates modules in Python talk, but they call them crates in Rust. I just like the way the crates are structured, and I love using this thing called cargo. Cargo actually, when you compile your code with cargo, you do a quick cargo check, and it'll check the code before it actually compiles. And you could do a quick cargo run before you build your code to see if it will actually run. So you can do all these things beforehand, and then you can do a cargo build. And when you're doing the build, it pulls in the dependencies that you need in order to make sure that your code runs. So I think that's super cool with Rust. So, and I fall in love with that. I know I'm going on a Rust ramble, but I really enjoy the language.
I didn't know about all those things for Rust. As I said, I'm no programmer, so I don't know much about those difference between Go and Rest. But I was just wondering why did you go for Rest? But thank you for sharing the answer. For my next question, is there any project you are focusing on while you are programming in Rest, like making a tool, an evasion tool, or I don't know, a scan tool?
Yes, I'm actually trying to do different things with Rust inside the browser by compilation with WebAssembly.
That's interesting.
So I'm using Rust, and I'm actually going to blog about it probably over the weekend on past the weekend because it's going to be Father's Day. How to compile Rust with WebAssembly to get it to run in the browser.
Yeah, I definitely will check it out, and I think the people who are watching will also check it out. I think it's interesting, especially WebAssembly. I'm no guru in assembly, but I hear many stories lately about people playing with WebAssembly. I think it's difficult, but once you know it, I think you can do a lot with it.
Yeah, it's a lot of things you could possibly do with it. So I'm definitely excited, and I'm amped to just play around with it.
Any advice for people who want to dive deeper in WebAssembly or assembly at all?
I just say roll up your, well, I'm half short sleeve. Roll up your sleeves and dig in. Look, throw those hands together. Put your hands together. Hit the keys. GOOGLE.com and throw in WebAssembly and just start digging in. Even if just playing with sample code. Bring up your browser and start having fun with this. That's my advice. I know I sound like a cheerleader just now. GOOGLE.
And for the people who are watching,
that's my advice.
and for the people who are watching, please don't punch your keyboard, else there will not be much left of your keyboard.
Yes, don't do that.
Well, for my next question, you're going a little bit outside of the technical part, more about your personal life part. Do you have anything besides computer? Do you like to go to the gym or swimming or bicycling or playing card games or other games? I don't know. Any hobbies?
I like spending time with my friends and family, of course, and definitely I'm a retro gamer. I love retro. Anything retro, I love it. Whether it's Game Boy, Neo Geo, all the old games. Because the reason being, and I'm fascinated with them because it's like the fun factor is still there. It takes me back to that time where I had fun as a kid too. You know, I'm enjoying the adult thing some days, some not, right? But that fun factor of like playing video games as a kid, which is different now with video games because it's more realistic. They bleed over into real life. As back in like the 80s, it was more so
difficult.
It was just completely fun. It was just like different, you know. So I love the retro side on that aspect. And a lot of times I just like hanging out with my friends and just my family. I think I have a passion for people. So people is the best resource, you know, and you're supposed to enjoy them while they're here. Because life is short. So, and of course, if I have something like hobby-wise, I do crossword puzzles, I do different things. I just like having fun. Whatever it is, I'm in.
Well,
let's live it up and enjoy. I'm 41. We got to do this.
Well, I think you have amazing hobbies, and you're definitely right. You should enjoy your friends, family too, besides the computer. Life is more than only computer, of course.
Exactly.
And for my next question, how do you manage all that time between work, learning, programming, and your kids probably, and your friends, gaming? How do you manage all the time?
I compartmentalize, like you say, okay, cool. I know I'm working from this time slot to this time slot, right? And I'm like, okay, work is finished, I'm putting it up. That's it. Whatever wasn't done today, it will resume tomorrow. And that's my mindset. Now, when I'm learning, it's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna focus on this little piece here. I'm gonna spend the max 3 hours, right? No less than probably like an hour or so. Because I have a 3-year-old daughter. So whatever I learn within that time slot, I'm okay with it. Like, I'm not trying to say, oh, I gotta learn it all in one night. No. Slow and steady wins the race, not like everything all at once, because you won't remember anything if you try to do that. So, and then like with friends and family, like, hey, you hanging out? Yeah, I'm hanging out. Let's do this. So it's kind of like, again, remember I said it's a journey, not a race? I treat life like that too. So it's like, hey, you want to hang out? Let's do that. You know, I'm not thinking about oh my goodness, I got to figure out this code. I'll figure it out later. There's time. All we got is time. So that's how I do like the compartmentalization of things, you know? As opposed to just saying, oh my gosh, I got to do it all at once, because you'll burn out that way.
I think your idea, and I think it's great. I think more people should think that way. just you don't need to rush everything at once. Just enjoy the time being, and take your time to learn, enjoy the journey, and
And avoid the dumpster fires. I like this thing. I like
Order now for €1 at.
I know, right? 1995. Yeah.
No, but thank you for answering the question, and I think we go to the. How more questions do we have? We have 2 more questions.
Okay.
Is there something in the past that you really regret, and if you had the chance, you would go back, redo it, and
what I really regret is not, I would say, not learning, like not taking high school as serious as I could have. Not taking high school as serious as I could have. Like just saying, taking education, like school, like high school, a little bit more serious. I could have done a lot better than I did do in high school. That's my one regret.
Yeah.
That would be my one regret.
Well, then we have something in equal, because I also regret the time that I was at high school. It could be better.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing more games than.
Same here.
yeah, exactly. I had no time for study.
So if you're in high school and watching this, those are the best years of your life. Take it serious and take it to the next level.
Yeah, exactly. Don't waste it with gaming as I did.
Nope. No. I love y'all, Mario, but y'all cost me high school.
Well, thank you for answering that question. Let's go to the next one. For the last question, do you have any advice or tips for the people who are watching and they want to start with hacking? So they are just starting into this field and they want to learn what is hacking and how can I start with it?
I would start with something that you might be interested in. Like let's say for example, let's say that you're interested in, okay, we all play video games, right? Start with, well, that's a bad example. Let's just do this. Like, I would start off with networking. If you really want to just learn the basics of networking, and go to security conferences. If you can't get to security conferences, join up with the local Discord channel or your local security group. If there is a security group. If there's not a security group, start one with your friends. And that way you can grow and learn together. But definitely with all the Discord channels that's out now, and Twitch streams, and YouTube channels, I would definitely start there. I would start with learning basic networking and learn how operating systems work. That will take you into the hacking scene. Because here's the thing, you can't start hacking unless you run the basics. It's kind of like being able to learn to walk before you run. That's the same thing with hacking. If you don't understand how networks work, if you don't understand how operating systems work, then how are you going to understand how security works? That's pretty much my advice. It's just, and start slow. It's not a rush. It's not a race. This is the journey, and this is your journey. This is your story that you're writing. So if you want to get started in hacking today, pick up a book on networking. Get started. Learn the basics. There's also a lot more. Started. You have places like Hack the Box, Try Hacking, Phone Hub. If you want to just see what you can do on a CTF style, there's CTF levels for beginners and everything else. Definitely start out with that, and don't forget, please have fun when you're getting started with this, because again, this is something that this is a field that you're going to constantly be learning in. There's going to be a lot of reading. There's going to be a lot of learning. You're going to be talking with folks, a lot of questions. It's all constant learning. It doesn't stop. So that would be my advice if you want to get into this industry. And of course, if you have questions, feel free. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm with BSD Bandit. If you're on Twitter, that would be my advice.
Windows Update is popping up for you. I hear the notification.
Okay.
No, but thank you for sharing your advice. I hope it will help people. I think it's great advice. So especially the networking part. You should definitely learn networking, as it always comes back to networking. Everything you do in hacking always comes back to networking.
Yes.
So we're going to the shame, the 5 questions of shame.
Okay. Shame away.
Here we go. So for my first question, which hero will you be? You can choose any hero from real heroes or celebrities or science fiction, movies, books, games, retro games.
Which hero would I be?
Yeah.
I would be Mega Man.
I've never heard that one before, but yeah, I think it's a nice one.
I would be Mega Man. He has the Mega Blaster, and the reason why he has the Mega Blaster, he doesn't die, he just disintegrates. And, like, that Mega Blaster, and he has a dog called Rush, which can fly, and it can do many different things and get him out of many jams. So, my hero would be Mega Man.
Okay, we stick to Mega Man. That's your new name, Mega Man. So
that's also one of my favorite games too. So yeah.
Well, Mr. Mega Man, let's go to the second question.
Okay.
If you can choose 2 parents, which 2 parents would it be? It can be real parents, real celebrities, or it can be parents from movies, books, or games. Yeah, whatever you want.
If I could choose 2 parents, I'd choose the ones that I have, because they've given me a good lifestyle.
That's the
Love you, Mom and Dad.
That's the only right
simple.
answer, I think. That's the only right answer.
That's the real look. That's the real answer. That's the real answer. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Without them, there is no me, and I don't do this.
It's a trick question, so yeah, you succeeded. For my next question, what will be your weapon of choice? It can be real. It can be real weapons or just an imaginary weapon that you just made up.
What will be my weapon of choice? Flamethrower.
Interesting. Mega Man and flamethrower.
Yes.
It can work.
He has the blaster. Remember.
Yeah.
Anything can come out of the blaster.
For my 4th question, in a game of scissor, paper, and rock, what will be your first choice?
Rock.
Well, again, rock. Everyone chose rock. Always rock.
Because again, you know why, right? You know why I chose rock? I'll tell you.
You're a punch man.
Mega Man's original name is Rockman in Japan. Ah!
I didn't know that, but makes sense. For my last question, what will be your ultimate hacker name? You are the first person on Earth to register an hacker name, so everything is available. What will it be?
I would be the Unix geek. That would be my first hacker name. Because here's the thing. It's aligned with the operating system. Many hackers have used it. It's been around as tried and true. And one of the most awesome programming languages came out of that environment, which is the C programming language, which is the languages that we all stand on to this day as far as like operating system and other languages. So that's why I would be the Unix.
I think it's an amazing name. I think it's fancy. Those were my questions. So for the people who are watching, it's now your time and your chance to ask any question you want. You can ask this hacker with 20 years of experience. So yeah, just ask everything what comes to your mind. He's an open book. So
Yes, I don't hack banks. I don't hack girlfriends' email addresses, and I don't hack Facebook.
besides those questions, you can ask him everything.
Or grades. What we got?
I don't see any questions so far. I think everyone is just speechless.
Oh my goodness.
Let's give them. Let's give them 1 minute, and then I think.
Of course, yeah, definitely, definitely. Oh my goodness, this is fun. I like this. This is cool.
Come on, people. Ask some questions. You probably have some questions about hacking or something that you faced during your journey about hacking that you think, I want to know more about this. Seems interesting.
Is it still quiet?
Yeah, there's one question. It's not
Okay.
It's not specific about hacking, but
That's okay.
someone is asking you, do you just have an infinite lineup of those shirts?
I have a good amount of the shirts. I will drop the mic on this one, and I will say this: the characters that you see on my T-shirts, they come from. Remember, I tell you, I'm a huge retro fan, and it takes me back to a time where time is fun, and I wanted to share T-shirts with the world. So this T-shirt, okay, this is Super Macho Man, right? So I was actually playing this game when Super Macho Man came out. I paused the game. I took a picture of the game of Super Macho Man with my phone. I sent the phone to my T-shirt guy, and he came out with this T-shirt. That's how I do the characters. So that's why when you see different characters and whatnot, it's all coming from the games that I'm actually playing. So yeah,
Makes
again,
sense.
This is part 2 of the Summer of Retro. So there's going to be some more retro characters that I'm getting made that are going to be on T-shirts real soon, and I'm going to put them up on my Twitter page.
No, yeah, thank you for answering that question. And yeah, they are custom-made shirts. So yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So yeah, those were the questions I think so far. No other questions have been coming in. You should expect some hacking questions. I was hoping for some hacking questions, but yeah,
That's okay.
they probably
That's
know.
okay. Hacking is a lifestyle.
Yeah,
Lifestyle. Yeah.
that for sure. You wake up with hacking and you sleep with hacking. Always thinking about hacking.
So, computers.
Yeah.
Think about computers.
Yeah, computers hacking.
Yeah.
Ah yes, there's one more question.
Okay.
I heard you talking about Rust before. What are you building with WebAssembly?
No, so with what I'm actually testing with Rust, with WebAssembly, I want to build like a command and control like tool, like kind of how like Cobalt Strike is, right? With command and control, I kind of want to do that with Rust within the browser. That's what I'm trying to do. So that's what's forcing me to really learn the different ins and outs of Rust in general.
That's really a big project to do.
Yeah, that's why it's the whole summer of Rust. Ah!
At least it bypasses Windows Defender, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's the goal.
yeah, that's the goal indeed. Are there any more questions, people? It's your chance now. 30 seconds. The highest price, the highest bidder, who goes? 1, 2.
Going once, going twice.
$1.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I see $1. $50. Yeah, I see $50.
50, 100.
No, I think those were the questions from the people. So,
Okay.
yeah, I think we are at the end of this question and answer session.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope the people who have been watching this entire time that you also, were enjoying the session. I hope you learned something with his experience about retro gaming and open books and managing your time, and of course hacking, the most important part.
Woohoo! But I really had fun, and thank you for having me on. I'm truly honored.
Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk with you. It was really nice to talk with you. Perhaps we can do it again after some couple of months to see to see your progress about your REST project, perhaps how far it is.
Yes. I'm all for that. Yeah, definitely come back on and show the progression.
Yeah, sounds cool. For the people who are watching, I wish you an amazing weekend, evening, morning, whatever time it is there. And enjoy your weekend. And see you all the next week.
Later. Yep.